Big Spoke, what up, brother?
What's going on, man?
Man, I can't call it. I can't call it.
Mm,
I missed y'all last week, man, but I had a good time. You know what I mean?
mm.
I tried to do my thing.
You was on by yourself?
I was by myself. I was by
Holy,
myself. Yeah,
holy shit!
yeah. So I forget. I didn't announce the guest, but the guest I think backed out,
Mm,
didn't show up. Didn't show up. That's who it was.
mm,
And hell, I didn't panic because that this is what I always wanted to do when we started this thing. You know what I
mm.
mean? And it came across as a good idea to invite you and Damon to this thing to see how y'all would like it. You know what I'm saying? So it felt like riding a bike.
How long were you on?
Almost shit, a full 2 hours.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
How was participation?
It was pretty good, pretty good. You know, I wasn't really see. You know what the thing about it is? That's when we blow up, I'll pay attention to the participation,
Mm,
right? Because early on you'll get discouraged, especially when you
mm,
go live on Facebook and I got almost 1,800 followers and 1,600 friends, right?
mm,
And only two or three engage. See, that's fool's gold. You know what I mean? Because I like going live on Facebook because it's real time. We're talking
mm,
about things.
mm,
Feel me? It's like that. That's and I almost lost sight of that. You know, I
mm,
lost sight of that. Yeah, I'm encouraged when people come in. You know what I mean? I'm encouraged when people participate in the chat, leave their comments. I love that. I love that. You know what I mean? Because what this platform is about what? Conversation.
conversation, yeah.
You know?
And
Conversation.
and I would like to see that, like the numbers on how long it really takes for a situation like this to gain traction, man.
I I think it's the spectrum.
Yeah, I mean, and
Right.
the way we're going about it, or the way we've gone about it, is just, is and I'm not I'm not working I'm not knocking the work you put in, man, but it's rudimentary, man. It's like trying to fill the Grand Canyon with water with a fucking tablespoon. You know what I mean?
If you
It's
look at it that way, yes, sir.
yeah, yeah. But that's not a bad thing. I mean, the consistency is what I'm talking about. You're gonna have to be consistent, and that's what we've been. So, but
Yeah. Yeah.
it's other ways. Like if our goal was monetization, I mean, it's other ways that
Oh, it is. It is. But I think the way I went about it, thinking it's the early days of YouTube, because that's kind of the way I went about it. You know what I
Mhm,
mean? Putting it up there. But by the time that we started,
mhm,
the money makers were solidified and all these different things. So, we're kind of like trying to find our niche. We're trying to see what's what and where it is with it. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like
excuse me.
understanding that. And plus, all three of us, we competitors. We compete at everything that we do. And I'm assuming, because I've known you both for as long as I have, you're just like me. You wanna win. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So what I did was not settle, but understand as I've been walking that I'm walking alongside of y'all in a steep grade. You understand? Where it's
Mhm,
immovable. That mountain is immovable unless you drop a bomb on it. So to get to the top, you got to take one step at a time to keep going,
mhm,
and learning along the way. Because we've been doing this almost 3 years now. No, it's 3 years. A little under, no, it's 3 years. Because I got a memory of a notification I sent out 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing about it is,
That's crazy.
yeah, we're putting it together. We're putting it together, and yeah, look, at the bottom of the screen, in the ticker, that's all our information where we are, trying to be on all the platforms, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then somebody called me and suggested, "Hey, look, put your cash up there," and if people feel generous,
Mm-hmm.
and then he said that's how it works sometimes. Just put it up there. You don't got to ask, and I don't want to ask. You know what I'm saying? But this is my experiment to see.
Yeah.
Because I definitely want to pay for your time and our guest time. That's my goal, my ultimate goal.
Mm-hmm.
You know why? Because I am getting a lot of good information from y'all. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you guys are bearing your souls on how you feel about things. Of course, you being a working man, some things you don't touch and you're not supposed to touch. Feel me? But when it comes to you being a grown, strong minded individual, successful in what you do, and you give your opinion, those opinions are jewels. You feel me? Those opinions are jewels where it's going to land in somebody's ear either today or years, because this YouTube thing is what it is.
Yeah, it's here.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's going to change lives. This is why I promote conversation. This is why you promote conversation. This is why Damon promote conversation. That Strong Perspective podcast. That's why it's Strong Perspective. People think it's this because we Armstrong. That's the spin.
Yeah.
You know, that's nifty. Yeah,
We
it's
needed in
cool.
that. Yeah. Yeah.
But
I
look at
wore
it.
I wore a shirt to work the other day, and I mean, that's what everybody calls me at work anyway. You know, just like just like you.
Yeah,
And I explained to a couple of people that yeah, I mean, my brothers, we have a podcast, and yeah, and so and so. I just like telling people that,
yeah, yeah.
because I for the life of me, man, I want to check and see if any of those people who I have those conversations with,
Uh-huh.
and at the moment they're just like, bro, what's going on?
Damon, what's up, brother?
And at the moment they're just like just so enthralled with what I tell them we got going on, and then I just like to see if they follow up and come and check us out. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah. And the thing about it is what you just said. You said strong. You said strong. Look, you said strong. People call you strong. They call all three of us strong for a reason, because it matches. Hey, Auntie, how you doing? Long
Wow.
time no see.
Oh man, hey!
Look, this is our little big
Oh my
Auntie
God,
Susie. Yes,
man,
indeedy.
man, I'm getting misty as shit. God damn it! Oh man, hey, what's going on, honey? Damn. Mm, mm.
Yes, yes.
Love you. I love you.
Love you very much, baby.
Mm.
Good to see you.
Yeah, yeah. You know what's so crazy about it? Because she had reached out to me,
Mm.
and I made sure, look, I had when I seen it, I was like, oh Lord, let me get back. You know what I mean? You know, and and we sure will, Auntie. We sure will.
Absolutely.
Because look, that we met her when she was a little girl, and then, look, they was like, hey, our dad was like, this is your aunt right here. You know, and look, and Susie had a big old smile, like, yeah, y'all grown, but
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, she was a little bossy.
yeah, she was. But it was in a good way, though. You know what I'm saying? It was a good way.
Damn.
But damn, that was nice, man. That was nice. Like pleasant surprise. You know what I'm saying? She said she ain't changed at all. You see that? Hold on for 1 second, guys. Y'all proceed.
What's going on, bro? You good?
Yeah, man. I'm good, man. You know,
Yeah, Keith was telling me he was solo last week.
I know, man. You know, some things would happen with Aunt Shirley, man. It was like serious. You know what I'm saying? So
I understand. Understand.
yeah, we had to be on top of that.
Everything cool.
How about you, man?
Hmm?
How about you, man?
Oh,
How you
everything's
been?
good. I've been good, man. I've been good, man. I had a work event that I had to attend. Uh,
I know. I remember when you was telling us.
yeah, it went pretty well. Went pretty well. You know, he said he was on here like 2 hours. Like damn, and I'm sitting here. He was saying it. He was explaining what was going on, and I'm like, damn, he did 2 hours by himself. Like holy shit. Like okay, I can't. I
You was
I
on there
ain't.
for 2 hours.
Yeah. I ain't. I ain't got it in me, man. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yo, my fault.
I ain't shit. I just be sitting here like this.
Hold on.
So hold on. So what you say now? Y'all surprised? I'm a pro, man. I've been doing this shit for 3 years. So
Nah,
I
I ain't
bet.
surprised.
Look. We better be able to carry 3 hours. But look, I'm gonna go ahead. I was gonna wait for Damon, but I'm gonna go ahead, start this show off, and we'll go from there. See you on the other side, brother.
No doubt.
Welcome everybody to this episode of Strong Perspective Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Keith Armstrong, along with
Uncle spoke.
and Damon Armstrong is he's going to be with us momentarily, but you guys got to witness us going back and forth. You know what I mean?
Man, I'm study talking. Hey, y'all should have heard my intro, man. But I was off mic. My
Oh,
bad.
well, there you go. Along with
Yeah.
who?
Your boy, Flute Dog, Flute Strong. I went there with it, man.
I got you, dog. I got you.
I went there with it, man. I see my auntie up there, man. So I'm kind of, in that mode right now, man.
No doubt. No doubt. No
You
doubt.
know.
Definitely, man.
Okay. Well, listen. Do a little bit of housekeeping before we move forward. This is Strong Perspective Podcast. What we do is we promote conversation between the young and the old, the flashy and the bland, the serious and the whimsical. Everyone has an opinion. Everyone has can reach out to us and talk to us about how they feel. We bring subjects and we definitely encourage you in the chat to put if you have a question, throw it up in the comments, and we are going to put you on the screen and we're going to address it. It is what it is because what we do is we don't do it enough. We promote conversation. We don't try to tear your opinion down. We give you a chance to do what? We give you a chance to actually give you a chance to let people know how you feel. That's what it is. That's where it's always been. Because guess what? It's the three of us, we're very opinionated. You know what I'm saying? My brothers will tell you, we take no prisoners in a debate. But see, that'd be too easy, wouldn't it? You know what I'm saying? Not trying to isolate us from other people and making us different. No, we're not different. We like to argue. We like to go back and forth. We like to be right. But what we do with this particular platform, Strong Perspective Podcast, we live up to the name, Strong Perspective. Everybody got a strong perspective. With that being said, go to our YouTube channel, like, share, and subscribe. It's the same thing, Strong Perspective Podcast. Go like, share, and subscribe, and do your thing for us, please. Jaquari, how was your day today, brother?
My day was wonderful, man. I had an excellent week, man. But I'm sitting here tripping off of your use of the word whimsical.
Whimsical, baby.
Whimsical.
Stop playing.
Like this is like this 1953. Yeah. No, it was a good day, man. An interesting week. It came to a positive ending. That's all I could ask for.
Okay, cool. Damon, what about yourself, brother? You with us?
I think he might have frozen.
You froze on us, Damon. All right. Well, we gonna ask you about your day when you come back. Susie, you got an open invitation. Let me know. Let me know.
Here we go.
No. We being optimistic, Damon. Go ahead. How was your day today, brother?
That day was beautiful, man. I was looking at my grandbaby, and she said, I want some potato chips, right? I ain't had that but the barbecue. And she's over there, you know how kids do when they see stuff, they eat. And I said, grandbaby, is it too hot for you? She said, it's a little spicy, man, but I can handle it. Is this my bag? And I'm like, what did you just say? It's spicy, granddad, but it's not hot. You know hot. It's hot as spicy as spicy. I said, okay. Where the hell you learn that from?
Mm-hmm.
And then I ate a chip, and I was like, she right, it is spicy, but it's not hot.
As you were drinking it, you grabbed that glass of water, like. All right. Well, look. I tell you, man, it's been a lot in news. I was telling Jaquari earlier before we went live that because Jaquari's not a sports guy. He's everything else guy, right? When it comes to literature, when it comes to anything else, Jaquari is the guy. Because but ever since and Damon, you'll attest to this. Ever since he was a little boy, oh yeah, he was an athlete. He did all that, but it wasn't his end all be all. You know what I'm saying? So I said, well, look, when we talk about sports, I look at it at a different angle. Some people want to give you statistics and all that, right? But really and truly, sports is to me, and you guys, let me know what y'all think. Sports is an extension of life. I'm not talking about the winning and the losing. I'm talking about the actual participation of it. You know what I'm saying? So, anybody have a comment on that?
Yeah, it's all about the give and the take and the ebb and the flow, man, and and the opportunities of relationship building, man, and camaraderie. You know what I mean? And to a certain extent, team sports really did build a certain character in me. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And there are times, especially as I get older, man, where I think to myself, man, if I just push a little harder, if I just push a little harder, man, my athletic career would have been different. Would have been different. Because I never took myself seriously, and that's no excuse as to why I didn't reach a certain level of success. It's just I uh I bullshitted a lot, especially with basketball. I bullshitted with basketball so much, man. So much, man. I told myself that, like after my sophomore year, that I was going to use basketball to stay in shape for football. But it's two different you know ways of being, man. I seen it as such, but it really wasn't. You know, because the same aggression I used on the field, I could have used on the court.
Oh yeah, no doubt about that.
But some reason or some reason or another, I found a reason not to, and it ended up becoming something that I just went through the motions of.
Okay.
You
Okay. Damon, what do you think sports is in relation to everyday life? Well, now, this is a running joke when it comes to the Strong Perspective podcast because Damon's internet is always temperamental. You know what I'm saying? But, we always hang in there because he gives us gems. He gives us gems when he get a chance to really comment on it. So, we're going to be patient and we're going to let him do his thing. He's going to show up for us. You know what I mean? Because, Damon and Jaquardi got fans. You feel what I'm saying? They got fans on this podcast. They want to hear them. I have people communicate with me about, your youngest brother, man, what he said here and what he did here, you know what I'm saying? And the middle brother, because Damon has that soul. You feel what I'm saying? He has that soul that people connect to, and that's a good thing. All right, man, look. You tell your internet to quit being temperamental, man. So let me ask you a question, Damon. What do you think sports is in relation to life? Is there tools that we learn from team sports or individual sports that convey in life? You with me?
No, I don't think he is.
Yeah. I put on the screen, the marker says, I'm a Buffalo Bills all time. Bills is life. Go Bills. Look, I respect it because guess what? Even though we never made it to the Super Bowl, I kind of relate to the Bills as a Detroit Lions fan. I really do. Meaning, no matter what, we ride with our guys. You know what I mean? Through the losing, the 0-16, all the way up into present day, we ride with you. You know what I mean? Because I think that Midwest people, and I want to say this the right way. Being from the Midwest, being from Detroit, Ypsilanti, that mismatch, we are able to make our decision who we're going to ride with. Win, lose, or draw. You know what I'm saying? There's no fickleness to us. As I grew up, because I went to Pitt, meeting cats from the East Coast, New York, New Jersey, Baltimore, Maryland, D.C., Virginia, you know what I'm saying, Ohio. I used to give people a hard time when they didn't root for their home team. I did. It wasn't fair. It was weird to me. What do you think, Jaquar?
No, I'm just saying. I'm saying I still do sometimes. I mean, it's yeah, you you might like a player from another team or another squad or whatever when you're a little kid or whatever, man. But you grow out of that shit and you understand that there's a certain civic pride that comes with a successful ball club.
Mm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
there are like sectional gladiators, man. They're the ones. They would have been the guys who settled disputes, tribal disputes and such.
No doubt.
So
Okay.
when they down, when they down, you don't throw them away. Sports also taught me that. My what was it? My sophomore year, man, when I was playing varsity basketball, man, we was like doggone 4-19, man. It was a horrible time, man. That freshman year, my freshman year, we were undefeated.
Mm.
We were undefeated, kicked everybody's ass. You know what I mean? And as a sophomore, getting burned in practice and being on the bench and not having the mindset to get to work hard and get better. It was a downer for me, man. So I think that's probably when I really stopped trying to put my heart into basketball.
Gotcha.
And that was nobody's fault but my own. You know what I mean? That was a lesson. That was a lesson. When you face with adversity, what do? This is something you claim to love.
Yeah.
How quickly do you relinquish that love?
I'm glad you brought that up because that is a fact. Because it's like this, and we're not gonna make this into a sports show, but it is relations to the sports is relation to life, and we get ready to segue into something that I think people are going to get into. It's the simple fact that Jaquari said in so many words, it is up to you on what you feed yourself with. Now, if you get caught up on the record because it's embarrassing, or the record because you feel you're not trying hard enough, or everybody else not working together, that is a reality that we have to come to. Meaning, that's something positive. What Jaquari said is positive. Like, yo, I got to put some of that onus on me. What am I doing to contribute to this mess? You know what I'm saying? What did I do to stop myself being whatever record that we have? Instead of, oh man, we're bums, or our team leader, he's not this, he's not that. You feel me? I don't understand why, blah, blah, blah. Trying to find a reason why you're not trying when the two have nothing to do with each other.
No,
Have
I mean it took years. It took years for me to come to grips with that, man. Like this is entirely on me. It was entirely on me.
what you
and
become.
and it was something that I couldn't that I could have changed at any time, man. And I don't want to be nonchalant about it, man. But well, I don't know.
Thanks.
I don't want to. It's not a sob story. It's not a sob story because even though those were rough times, they were rough because I made them rough, and I could have changed it at any time that I wanted to. Just by just by putting in some effort.
Yeah.
And that experience, man, it taught me that the it taught me the value of the things that I claim to value.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Damon, you with us? I can tell because he got his
Um,
hand on his chin. He's looking
my son had to come
retrospective.
straight everything out.
Good job, nephew.
Yeah,
Appreciate you, baby
yeah.
boy.
Nephew come through like, Dad, is it plugged in? Okay.
All right. Well, Damon. So we can move on. I want you to answer this question. When it comes to sports, in what ways do you see that it relates in life?
Sports show your weakness, man. If you were really in tune and trying to be the best player, whatever sports you're trying to play in, you recognize your weaknesses and you try to capitalize on it, and improve. So sports lets you know what I'm saying, what you need to work on if you're serious about it.
So it lets you know what's as far as you personally need to work on to be better in the sport and to be better in life. I mean, what do you mean?
If I can't go left, if I can't use my left hand, I have to have an awareness of it, man. And that's going to be a detriment. If I want to be good at the sport, I have to learn how to use the left hand. I have to learn how to go left. You know what I'm saying? In discovery. You feel what I'm saying? In discovery. And once you realize, oh man, I didn't realize I could do that. Then you can capitalize on it and enhance it and make it, a weapon.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So related to
life.
The rest of your life. Yes, sir.
Life is the same way, man. How do you gain wisdom? You gain wisdom by learning from your mistakes, right? I failed in this aspect. I need to do better. If I'm willing to come to that conclusion, then I'll explore the possibilities, bro. You know what I'm saying? And it's all, and it doesn't incorporate anybody else. It's only you. You have to have that awareness in order to improve yourself. Nobody else is. People can tell you, "Hey, man, I see you have a weak hand." That's obvious. But going through the process of getting stripped and losing the ball out of bounds and all that stuff, that's how you make adjustments, because you're going through the experience. And that's where the connection is. Going through the experience, gaining wisdom, and capitalizing and incorporating that shit in your life. Because you see, if you are really in tune with it, you see a positive. Okay. You see a positive, and you can decide whether or not I'm with it or I'm not. You can make that decision, but at least the choice is yours. You know what I'm saying? Based on your abilities.
Gotcha. Okay. So this is not changing the subject, but it's alignment. But as far as the heading of the topic is different. My question to you, and we'll start with you, Damon. My question to you is, how do you see yourself, right? And how do you think people see you?
How I see myself is ever always trying to evolve, man. Especially if it gathers or gain my attention. If it hits me in a certain way where I feel I need to evolve in that situation, then I'm going to do my due diligence to make it happen. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Because it's important to me and it affects my life. You know what I'm saying? And you can make a comparison to what inspires you. So people go through life every day, man, saying, you know what, I'm not going to deal with that. I don't care what the outcome is, because they're just not inspired about it.
Gotcha.
But if you put forward an effort to make a difference, make a change in your own perspective life, then you can measure based on your what you put into it. And that doesn't involve anybody else. That's just you understanding your weaknesses, understanding that you make it important to be better in that aspect. You know what I'm saying? You make it a point to be better. Man, this is important to me. I want to overcome this thing that, you know what I'm saying, hold me back or make me not invested. So it's all about how you think and how you feel and say, you know what, that's not going to be a problem anymore. Basketball, it's easy because it's physical. You know what I'm saying? You physically get out there and you know what your weaknesses are based on the competition, right? Now, if you're inspired to overcome what made you feel like you wasn't getting your best effort, then you're gonna be invested in that. And you're gonna be like, okay. And that doesn't involve anybody else. It's like, oh, I know my weaknesses. I'm not finna challenge you on your strengths. I'm gonna challenge me on my weaknesses. Because I was made to feel a certain way.
Gotcha. Okay. So if you have an opinion about this, how do you think the world sees you?
Me? That question?
Yeah, that's you.
When I was a young man, I cared about how the world saw me. But hell, that's a whole lot of information coming in opinions about in negativity and opinions about me. And that has nothing to do with what my strengths are. You know what I'm saying? You can never address your strengths based on some clown ass person telling you that you ain't that. How the hell do they know? Hell, you don't even know because you haven't challenged yourself. You know what I'm saying? So you have to go through that process wherever it takes you. But at the end of the day, at least you know. And it's real easy. Here's the thing that people don't understand. That ain't for me. That ain't for me. So why would I put all this investment into it when I know that I am not invested or inspired by it? You know what I'm saying? I have to go with what inspires me in terms of understanding what my weaknesses is and strengthening that situation and saying, okay, let's see where it goes from there. And that's unlimited. You don't know until you go through the process. And basketball does that. And football. You have to think, this guy got my number. This person got my number. How do I address to it on the winning side? I address to it implementing something that this guy can't read about me because it's self-discovery. You know what I'm saying? And I'm inspired by that because that holds no bounds. I'm like, oh man, I didn't know I could do that shit.
Okay.
Ain't no tape that a person holding is going to define your life. Because if you're watching the same tape and you're working on your process, then you can go to another place that they don't even know anything about. So they have to sit down and study and try to make an adjustment. You got the upper hand in that regard.
Gotcha. And you can relate that to life, period.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Hell, you told me that, bro. You remember when you told me, he said, when I think I called you on some things I was going through on the court and all that stuff. He was like, hey, man, hey, bro, you need to understand that, but this is what life is. It's not you failing because somebody best you. It's not you failing. It's that you not recognizing that you can overcome whatever the hell life brings you. You know what I'm saying? But you have to have that focus.
That's real. Jaquari, what Do you remember the questions?
Yeah.
He don't remember. I rattled on.
No, man. Shit, hell, she gave some great points.
That's some good stuff.
Ja'Cory, you remember both questions then?
Yeah, well, ask him again.
All right. Well, what is your opinion about who you are,
Mhm.
and how do you see other people when they see you? What's their opinion about you?
Yeah, answer the first question, man. I mean, as Damon said, man, it's ever changing, man. I learned a long time ago that you're what did they say? You never step in the same river twice. You know, I understand the majority of my that
Damn, that
being,
was deep, man. I'm sorry. What the fuck?
It was.
Go ahead.
It was.
Go ahead.
It was very on point.
I like that. I don't know who you got it from. If you made it up yourself, great damn job. But that was some shit. But go ahead.
Yeah, no, it wasn't mine. But I understood. I understood early the concept, man, that all of my trauma, all of my fuck ups, all of my mistakes are self inflicted, entirely self inflicted, man. It's I think for me the disconnect was the amount of work that it would take to to correct those things. You know what I mean? So as far as me describing myself, man, I'm all over the place, man. I'm all over the place. I mean, sometimes I'm stable, sometimes I'm erratic, uh, and I accept it. I don't try to change it no more because I used to try to hold it, my excitement in my I didn't used to stutter because I always I still do now. Like I take my time, man, and think about the the answers that I give. But I put the excitement of the moment behind my answers now, so I tend to stutter a little more.
Well, let me cut you off. It's not stutter, brother. It's an excited utterance. Because stuttering, you cannot help. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. But see, that's the thing. That's the thing, though. I mean, I stutter, I do, and I embrace it. You know what I mean? I sweat in the shower when it's cold. I embrace it. Fuck it. That's who I am. You know what I mean? I spent a lot of my young years, man. Trying to mimic what I seen was popular, trying to carry myself in a particular way, whatever, and it didn't work. It didn't work.
Gotcha.
I would be in a crowded room and feel like I was alone until I started being me. Until I started saying the awkward shit. And once I got past, everybody's initial shock and had the opportunity to explain the awkward shit and people started to understand my thinking patterns, life became better for me. You know what I mean? But to answer your second question, that mindset put me in a state of being that, I was always paying attention to what people were saying, especially the positive shit. The negative shit, I dealt with that my whole life. And so I pretty much knew how to navigate it. But the positive shit, that was my roadblocks right there. Because, I had a female tell me I was a giver, and it triggered me. And anything that triggers you, is well, it triggered me in a way that it stepped on my toes. I'm like, what the fuck do you mean I'm a giver? You think I'm a sucker? and we didn't talk no more after that. But I definitely thought about the statement or whatever.
Burnt that bridge.
Fuck it. Yeah, I burned it down. Yeah, I said, man, look, I carry matches. I set everything on fire. That's just who I am, But I was in the state, man, to where I would hear positive things about me, man, and when I was around those people, then I would try to nail that positive thing down and be that guy and live up to it. And I was fucking exhausted, man. I was fucking exhausted, man. And the shit, it started to looked like it was planned, man. It was orchestrated. It was contrived, and I see myself as fake. So
I got
I had to understand that it didn't matter what anybody said, good, bad, or indifferent. You know, they don't other people don't carry the fuel that ignites my fire. That's all in me. The good, the bad, and the ugly. And that's what it is, and that's who I am.
you. No doubt.
I'm all those things. The best of those things. So
Uh, both of you guys have great responses. And I'm pretty simple, man, because as you both know, I'm always thinking. I'm always on it and trying to understand who I am and where I'm going. So the answer to the first question is this. I finally understand that I'm perfectly imperfect, meaning I will never satisfy myself because I get caught up, and it's a habit, getting caught up on how the world viewed me. And that's the conditioning that people our age had to fucking deal with. The conditioning when it came to, and I'm not making this a white or black thing, but when it came to the definition of black men, we were bombarded with subservience and how we should be and what's going on and all this. And if you didn't have that person in your life to say, hey, it's okay that you think differently. So what
That's the key. But that's the key right there, though, bro. Not to interrupt you, but that's the key because you have to have somebody to tell you that being you is okay, right?
make you comfortable with, because
Right.
everybody can tell you everything, but to
Right.
give you the right words to make you comfortable with knowing that it's okay to be different. But here's my thing. The second question is this. The world made me come to a conclusion that I didn't want to come to. The conclusion I came to is I don't give a fuck what the world thinks about me. And most people, when I say it that way, most people think it's a negative thing. Like, oh man, he's going against the grain. No, I am more in touch with who I am. And I became a friend early. And then that friendship developed into love. I liked who I was because I was able to point out the different things that I was able to accomplish. Right? And then I looked past the accomplishments and I saw the person. And I became in love with the person. And it's still imperfection because I have my peaks and I have my motherfucking valleys. And this is a day-to-day, because I'm a heavy thinker, so this is a day-to-day battle for me. You feel me? So in acceptance of with both my answers to that question, it's always fluid. But fluid in an informational way, knowing myself. That's all. It's simple.
Here's the thing for me, bro. Not to interrupt you, but here's the thing for me. You know what I'm saying? You have to ask yourself, you have to be aware of what you're dealing with in this situation. If you're talking about the world, everybody is about understanding themselves. You know what I'm saying? And in understanding themselves, they might be offended or they might be against what the hell are you espousing, right? But at the end of the day, you can categorize that shit as evil if you choose to do so. But at the end of the day, is it about me against the world? It's not. It's not me. It's not about me against the world in terms of being argumentative with motherfuckers. It's me against the world understanding myself. You know what I'm saying? Because I can come to the conclusion that I get in an argument with a cat, I really don't give a shit about the conversation or the argument. But I'm being judged by it if I allow that person to reach me in that regard. But as far as I'm concerned, I can be strong about a situation based on my experience, my hurt, my pain, my whatever. I can be strong and stand on that shit and still be wrong. And still be wrong because I can conduct my situations in my life based on somebody else's fucking opinion.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
this is my point though. The second answer to the answer to the second question has more to do with when I said the world made me not give a fuck because I understand I understand more because I don't completely understand me. I understand more of who I want, who I am, and what I want, and where I want to go. And the world is not fluid. It is rigid. It is rigid.
I think, man, for me, it boils down to one or two things, man. Do I let the world address me, or do I address the world?
I got you.
You know,
Yeah, y'all both right. See, that's what's so crazy about it. Your opinions is great, but go ahead, Jaquar.
yeah. How much onus do I take, in in regards to the good and bad consequences that I accumulate throughout my lifetime.
And that's the main point, bro. That's the main point. You have to address how you respond to it in your own personal self. I ain't mean to cut you off, but that's a valid point right there.
You're fine, sir.
Okay, great responses, man. So
What I mean by that, let me expound on this shit, man. And I ain't mean to cut you off because I'm interested. I'm interested in hearing the rest of your comment, bro. But you hit it right on the head. I don't have to address the world at all because I'm not responsible for the world. I'm only as responsible for my experiences and my own personal, how I conduct myself. The world don't dictate how the hell I think or feel.
it
And
does if you let it.
therein lies where you start making judgments on yourself. Okay, this is how I conduct myself moving forward. Because if you don't want to be a sheep, man, because Lord knows, man, doing social media and all this stuff, we could identify with somebody who speaks to our pain, anguish, and all that shit. And we can glom onto that shit, and that's what life is. But that's not. That's not what life is. What life is that why the hell do this person has this opinion about me when they don't know me from Adam? I have to do the homework. I have to make the adjustment. And when you're doing the homework and making the adjustment, it has nothing to do with the world because it's not going to coincide, man. Because the world is all about opinion. And everybody's weak in that aspect, man. Well, hey, I'm trying to get the onus off of me. I'm in the spotlight, so I'm gonna point to another motherfucker that I think that's less than me. You know what I'm saying? And that's not you dealing with your shit. If you fuck up, you have to take responsibility for that and understand why the tables turned on you based on the decisions that you made. Doesn't make you less than a person. That gives you awareness of how to be better,
Okay.
a
Hey,
better you.
Damon, Jaquar, did you want to finish your point?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I went on a tangent, but you spoke me though, bro.
I was done.
I want to hear the rest of your comment.
I was done. I was done. I was done.
Okay. All right. Well, let me ask you this. And we'll start with you, Jaquar, because I'm curious about this. What is your definition of a real man?
My definition of a real man is shit is the tangible self, man. I mean, is in regards to images and living up to certain standards or whatever. I mean, those are things that no person will ever meet.
Okay,
Okay,
so
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 I
what
can
what
say
what
so
what do
so
you? I'm sorry because I want you to expound on this. What are the things, the certain things that people want you to meet when it comes to being a real man?
people want you to be an authoritarian. People want you to to be competent. People want you to be responsible. People want you to be in some regards approachable, uh, and at other times distant. There's so many things, man. That society has felt necessary to label uh, as being a real man. Like I say, the expectation is just unattainable. So what you can do to be a real man is to be yourself. Understand, your weaknesses, you know,
Okay,
and figure out whether or not you need to carry shame for those weaknesses. You
gotcha.
know, figure out whether or not you need to forgive yourself, or can you forgive yourself for your transgressions. Even if the other party doesn't, you got to move on, and you got to produce.
Chat, I need you guys. If you're in on this and you have an opinion about it, please chat. Throw it in the comments so we can comment on it. Um, okay, so when it comes to your definition of it, was it taught to you by verbally saying, "Hey, this is what a real man does. Hey, does this is what you don't do. This is what you do. This," or did you do it by watching the example,
Well,
or was it a mixture of both?
it was mostly a mixture. It was legit a mixture of both. Because I learned how to be a man from our dad. And just living with him. All our lives. Pop had very few wins, man. Pop had very few wins.
Materially, yes.
Yeah. So I mean, that didn't matter much to me, man. The character that I seen, you know, during the good times and the bad.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the things that shaped me. I understood that a man could have emotion about shit. You know, and I understood how to express those those emotions. Just
So,
by watching him.
so it's through conversation with our dad that he said it's okay to have emotions about something.
hmm hmm And
Okay.
he also said that son, you're not always gonna win. You're
Okay.
not always gonna win. And he didn't always win, but he didn't let life break him.
Yeah.
There were times when I'm like, I would be sitting around, when y'all had gone off to college, and we'd be sitting around, and I'm like, damn, why don't he do this? Why can't he be this? Why can't he be that? And for a long time, after I got grown and understood, you know, the weight of the world, I carried a lot of shame for that. Because I was never ashamed of him, but I always had those questions. And for me, that
So you had
it,
to live them.
yeah,
Okay.
I had to live them.
Okay. Damon, before we move on to you, I want to read Marcus Smith's comments. He said, "Being strong." This is his definition. Being strong and steadfast in your beliefs as a man might be viewed as toxic today. It's rough letting the world define you. It's a good point. You know what I mean? Because I think that's why I asked both questions. You know what I mean? Because honestly, what I believe, and then we're gonna go to you, Damon. I believe that you cannot let the world define who you are. because the world tries to put you in a box. And if you don't fit into that box, what does the world try to do to you? They try to alienate you. You cannot let somebody, unless it's wrong, you know what I'm saying? You cannot let somebody define how you should see the world. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you keep it to yourself. Damon, the question is, what's your definition of a real man? And hold. What's your definition of a real man? And how did you learn it? Did you learn it from being told, or from example, or both?
I learned it from experience, bro. The world don't define me and my life and my family and all. It doesn't, man, because it's all individualized, man. You know what I'm saying? I got 3 kids, and none of them, they have some similarities, but they have their own way of thinking and how they conduct themselves. They feel a certain way about something where I might come to the conclusion, like, why are you struggling with that? But they're struggling with that in their own way.
Hold on. I'm sorry to interrupt you. No, this is on you. Your definition of a real man.
My definition. Okay.
How did you come to the definition that you became? Was it told to you? Did you do it by example, or was it a mixture of both?
It wasn't a mixture of any of that. How I became a real man is coming to the understanding that when I was going through my maturation process, I was going through my own thing. I felt like nobody understood because everybody got opinions of how I should be and what they think, how they think I should be or whatever. And it had absolutely nothing to do with my experience. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what affects me. You know what I'm saying? A person make a statement about me that affects me to the point where I'm down in the dumps and I'm like, why do everybody, it's about everybody. Everybody feels this way. And that is not the damn case.
Okay. What is your definition? First, let's start right there. Hold on, brother. Hold on. What you said so far is valid, but I want to hear your definition of it.
Okay. This is my definition of a man. Know thyself, man, in your relationships with the people that claims to love you and want to be a part of your life. Know thyself. Because people have different expectations, man. You know what I'm saying? I might have a cat that pay attention to me and say, man, that's a man based on how he conducts himself with his family. You know what I'm saying? Some other cat might be like, well, I wouldn't give in like that. I wouldn't give my wife that much control. That's not me. I don't define that as a man. Whereas somebody like me be like, she's smarter than me in this regard, so I would give her this latitude as long as she's on par with us as a unit. And that requires, you know what I'm saying, being together and understanding each other. You know what I'm saying? I don't let the world dictate who I am as a man because I don't identify myself as that way like everybody else. What's popular, what's trending and shit. Because that's not my experience in life. My experience in life is that I got a child over here that's dealing with this, that don't coincide with this child over here that's dealing with that. So in that situation, I have to understand what they're going through and what affects them in order to help them understand themselves moving forward. And that does not coincide with what life, with what other people's opinion is. It just doesn't. And you have to know, not only do you have to know thyself, you have to know your child too. You know what I'm saying? And trying to understand yourself and your child, it doesn't coincide with what the hell life bring you. It coincides with them understanding that they matter and is here for a purpose. And who in the hell in that insecurity is going to understand that logic? Because it's personal. And understanding yourself and realizing that you have to have an open mind to what you are responsible for, you have to understand them. And what they're expressing to you doesn't coincide with people's opinion. It coincides with their insecurity. And in understanding that insecurity, you expressing to them, addressing them that they matter. Not what life's talking about. Because I look at social media and all this stuff, and I don't get none of that bullshit.
Because it's entertainment is why.
But at this point in time, at 59 years old, hell, all three of my kids have graduated college, doing their thing, buying houses and shit. So I did something right, and the world didn't tell me that. I showed them and supported them in that regard in spite of the damn world, bro. In spite of the world. So what the world has to do is understand how I accomplished my goals, how I supported my kids. Don't do that. It's all about making somebody look bad or who don't have this and who don't have that. It's all about the grind, bro. It's all about the grind. If you don't have the patience to grind based on who you are, then you're going to lose every time because the world is not going to tell you how to be this or that. The world is not going to express to you, hey man, how the hell you tell somebody that they worthy of life? Real talk. If you choose to subjugate them and make them adjust to what the world's speaking. No, you have to do your due diligence and understand that, hey man, I'm not going to put my burdens and my woes and my bullshit on my kids. You understand what I'm saying? So it perpetuates itself in the same bullshit. No, what I have to do is say, hey man, look, this was my struggle. I had to understand thyself. This is what I need you to do. Understand yourself, who you are and what you are put on this earth to be, to contribute. And the rest of that stuff is distraction, it's white noise. You have to be focused on what inspires you. Shakespeare was not inspired about the world. He just observed this shit and spoke on it. You feel what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So here is the crazy shit. Man, if you ain't like everybody else and trending and all this bullshit, then you don't matter. Whereas Shakespeare said, man, I'm gonna speak on what I see. And hopefully somebody can identify with it. And I don't have to address my life, who I am, not be who I am, to survive or matter. No, what the world hungers for is you as an individual and what you might bring to the world in your life, in your situation.
All right.
And that's what and that's what the world, that's the evil. I'm gonna make you feel like you're not worthy. I'm gonna make you feel like your opinion doesn't matter.
So this is why
But all people that did
hold
thing.
on, bro. Because you made your point. This is why each topic, I individualize each topic. I ask each one of us, how do we see certain things? What is our definition of things?
I ain't mean to go on a tangent, man. I apologize for that.
You didn't go on a tangent, but you reinforce how you see things. And that's the whole point. This is what we're doing. This is what we're doing today. It's how you see things. Because the thing about it is, in a lot of ways, we're not like me individually. The world has no bearing on how I see things and how I move. Jaquar, to me, my opinion, you understand where the world is coming from, and you choose to take your life into what feels good about your direction. Damon, you are more or less like, yo, look, I'm successful. I'm successful because I rely on who I am as a person. See what I'm saying? The way I see the world. You know, and really and truly, that's not completely how you think, but that's a cursory, like just touching on things. Because
Right.
that's what this podcast is about. It's about each and every person in the comments, and the three of us and whatever guests we have, is to speak on how they see this world. Okay, so with that being said, let me ask you a question. Do you think you have an obligation outside your immediate family to help move your community forward? And we'll start with you, Damon. And be concise in what you think so we can move this along.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with that, bro. And it's real simple as it pertains to me, my wife, and my kids. I'm, you know what I'm saying? I was always focused on what it is that they felt like what mattered to them as it pertains to moving forward in life. I wasn't aware of what the hell they wanted to put out there to grow themselves and mean something. You know what I'm saying? I just planted the seed in terms of, man,
Okay.
it's not about you trying to fit in. It's about you being who you are and letting the world adjust to you.
Okay. So I understand that. What I'm saying to you is, outside of your family, your immediate family, do you think you have an obligation to the rest of the community?
Yeah, absolutely. Just
In what
being
way?
just being who I am. See, people can come to a conclusion, man, that they can come to the conclusion that, man, this dude was fearless in being himself. I need to be. I'm gonna follow that lead, not in terms of me preaching and all that stuff, but just being myself and persevering in that persevering in that regard. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not telling people how to be. I'm just saying have courage in being yourself, and being yourself is going to permeate. It's going to make things happen. You know, if you want to put it in a religious standpoint, whatever, right? Jesus started with 12 disciples, right? Started with 12. Just being whatever. You know what I'm saying? An example to follow. Not trying to trick or cajole or whatever. Just, hey man, I can only be who I am, bro. And it's going to be the naysayers, and then there's going to be people that you would never meet in your life that say, man, that okay, I'm inspired by this guy. I would never meet him. You know what I'm saying? I would never get the credit for it, but just living life based on what it is that you're trying to establish in this world as it pertains to yourself. That matters. It reaches folks. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to explain anything. You just have to be who you are and say, "Hey, man, I want to be an artist. I want to be a writer." And you write some things as it pertains to your life and what you see and what your experiences, and somebody be inspired by that. That's what it really is, bro. That's what it really is. You got this is an example. They talk about who the GOAT is in pro basketball, right? My GOAT is Kareem, but he's never really mentioned because they can come up with different ideas of why he's not the GOAT. The motherfucker had to pass him the ball, but he had an unstoppable goddamn shot. Nobody could stop. You know what I'm saying? That was him saying, "Hey, I got this. I developed this shot. Nobody could stop." You know what I'm saying? Nobody could stop. But who in the hell is practicing the same goddamn shot that's effective that nobody could stop? Name a person in the NBA right now or past Kareem who did the same thing. And then people have the nerve that if you got a shot nobody can stop, you the GOAT, bro. You came up with that concept. You worked on that move. Nobody could stop.
Tim Duncan, yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? But because of whatever reason or whatever, people don't consider that. That's the GOAT to me. This brother developed a shot nobody could stop.
Gotcha. Okay, I got you.
So my point is, you mean to tell me that you are not going to at least try it to see if it works for you to move you to elevate you to that next level? Nobody's on that level. Name somebody other than Kareem that developed a shot that nobody can stop. Name it, and then tell me why they can't see him as the GOAT.
Okay, all right. Well, tie that in for us, man. From the question that I asked, tie that in for us.
Because it was his. It was his own. He developed himself.
Okay, so
it was not predicated on anybody else but him.
Okay.
And it was that ultimate thing that nobody has touched.
Gotcha. I got you.
And it was all his. It was all his. It wasn't anybody else.
Quarry. What's your answer?
I had something to ask one more time.
I believe we was talking about having the obligation outside the community. I mean, outside your family.
I know. To a whole other place. My bad, man.
Yeah, you did, but that's cool. There was some good points.
Yeah.
Do you have an obligation outside your family to the community?
You know what? If everybody wants to, I'm me like everybody else wants to, live in a perfect community that's perfect to them or whatever, but that's not necessarily my pursuits, as I go about my day.
Gotcha.
Trying to, if I was to sit here and try to, verbalize, what my worldview was in regards to my community or whatever, I couldn't do it. You know what I mean? And that's not such a bad thing, because in my job, I'm kind of responsible for helping young folks develop a worldview. So I haven't spent a lot of time, looking at the world and analyzing shit, the way I used to. because my stance on certain shit has changed over the years. I used to be a very corporal person. You know, you litter. You know, that's death penalty. 10 years in prison. You know, simple as that. You know, then I became a liberal person, and you know, I wanted to help. You know, everybody through their issues or whatever. Now I'm you know, as I get older, you know, I've got a much more conservative bent. Now, during each in regards to each one of those periods of my life, man, you know, I would have been doing the world a disservice to only stand on that thing. There's no shame in evolution. There's no shame in evolution at all. You know, we evolve, you know, to live better lives. We evolve to adapt to our environment and everything. You know, so coming from a generation where the majority weren't supposed to make it to past 21, you know, you know, I think I'm doing pretty good.
As a matter of fact, for our younger crowd, that was a thing.
Yeah,
that was a thing. Not making it past 21. We all believe that shit.
Yeah.
Because it was a thing. But go ahead.
So as far as you know, my opinion about the state of our community, man. I mean, I always believe, man. You know, just something as simple as beautification, man. You cut your yard, you know, your neighbor to your right and to your left. You know, you cut your yard, you maintain your shit. You know, eventually it's gonna catch on, and the whole place is gonna be beautiful. You know, I mean, if I drew a check, you know, from community planning, then I would probably, you know, spend a lot more time trying to ponder those problems. But you know, my life has been one obstacle at a time. You know, I'd like to be the person who could come and address all these, you know, issues that we face and fix them. I would love to do that, but it's just not realistic. You know, I mean, it's a savior complex, and where do we get that from? You know, that's a whole different, you know, can of worms. I can't save you. I can't save you. You know, but I don't have to encourage and maintain conditions that's gonna help you fuck up either.
Yeah. I mean, the savior complex comes from being under occupation.
Mm.
I mean, because we are occupied, because we are, even though we're told it's not, we are a part of the original settlers of this country. Whether it's not that we was under slavery or not, you know what I mean? Or if you believe we were free roaming and taken into bondage when it belonged to us in the first place, whatever you subscribe to, I get that. You know what I'm saying? It's this how you see things, what's going on in your life, how you want to participate in it. I mean, because that's where my questions are geared from. I wanted to hear both your responses on, because I really believe there's no right or wrong in your responses. Whether I agree with your responses or not, there's no right or wrong, because this is the way that you both see the world. And I have a lot of respect for both of you to hear what you have to say. I mean, it's a funny thing. If you rely on the worldview will have you X people out because they belong to a certain demographic. We have always been subjugated under that pretense. Oh, you coming from this. So I'm not going to, because you don't quite understand, you know what I'm saying? Because you and your people have gone, shut the fuck up. Because I am a scholar when you give me the information. So I'm able to give you my opinion that makes sense when you get the information. When you don't get the information, it's easy to say, "Oh, you don't know no better." What do you mean? I don't know no better because you don't know about blah 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 blah. Blah. All right, but if I get blah 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 blah, blah, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to give you innovation. I'm going to give you the real information and pretense around bing bing bap. Feel me? And that's my whole point. What I did was, when I was a youngin', I liked to argue, right? But then I evolved into listening to what the person is saying to me as I'm arguing with them, and understanding that in each argument, unfortunately, is some truth in each on both sides. I mean, it's the truth. It's some truth on both sides because it's the information that you receive.
Shit. Well, it's some things that's happening and talked about and all that stuff. When I look at it, and I be like, "The hell are you talking about, man?" You know what I'm saying, you trying to argue a point when you know fucked up. How do you deal with a person like that, bro?
It's people trying to survive and panicking and don't give a fuck as long as they survive.
I'm just saying.
And it's not making excuses because you have a valid point. So it's not making excuses for those people. You see that it's panic. And they're willing to believe the dumbest shit.
For me, tribalism, just throw that word out there. Tribalism make a motherfucker argue a point that they know that's fucked up and wrong. Instead of them just saying, "Man, your kid is not finna eat more than mine." And that's just fact. That's just how I feel. Instead of coming to that point of view, they want to come up with all kinds of corny ass shit, which makes them look absolutely fucking stupid. You know what I'm saying? Whereas the purpose that they're arguing against is like, okay, then that's fine and good. Thank you for the information. Now I know how to be just as tribal as you. You know what I'm saying? And that's where that's the state that we are in this country. It's not about racism and all. It's about, man, look, it's enough for all of us to eat, but I want to make sure mine eats before yours. And that's not going to change. That's innate. That's the animalistic, innate thing within us. You understand what I'm saying? So with that understanding, then you adjust your argument. You adjust your situation. You go for this situation, putting yourself in a position respectfully that's negotiable, where you can argue and negotiate and everybody can eat. That's what it is. We can all offer to the nuances of it. Hey man, this is racist, and this is this, and this is that. And racism and woke shit, you know what I'm saying? It brings your attention to certain things. It might be positive and it might be negative. But at the end of the day, what do everybody want to do? Eat. And make sure their kids are being taken care of and nurtured and eating well in order to fight the fight. I'm not finna listen to your motherfucking corny ass when you all about yourself and you argue some bullshit. If we are going to make it equal to the point where our kids can be on equal plane to fight, then it's about merit, motherfucker. Let's see who wins at that point when everybody's nurtured and nursed and shit and in a good position. Let's see who wins. And then I can accept if your kids are learning more mathematistic shit than mine is.
Mathematistic. My man.
Whatever the fuck. Then and when I come to that point where your kids is learning more math than my kids, then I can make an adjustment to make them compete harder.
And let me just chime in on this end. It makes no difference whether or not your kid get fed first, as long as my kid get fed and get just as much as you do. Because
that's what it is.
The first in line don't fucking matter. Is everybody in line get fed?
And here's the question. Here's the point, bro. That's a just world. When everything is fair and equal, and then we see who the smartest and who's doing their due diligence to make sure their kids are learning, understanding, and being in a position where they can do whatever.
Okay.
Ain't about racism, ain't about none of that shit. It's about tribalism. It's about when you look at the Lion's Pride, my kids are going to eat the Lion's Share shit. And then what's left over, y'all can scavenge. That's not a fair situation. That's tribalism.
It's not.
You know what I'm saying?
I heard a guy say, man, that, anytime he said we excel on the field and on the court because the rules are there in black and white and they can't be changed during the game.
It's real. I mean, because if it's on the even plane and you actually have, even if you're outnumbered and outmatched, but the rules don't change, you get the most out of it.
And the crazy part about it is, man, you look at Trump, man. I didn't mean to get off into politics, but you look at Trump, man. First he started doing signing shit to get rid of DEI. Get rid of DEI shit, right? Hey, man, these people in a position.
Let them know, dog. Let them know.
Just think how stupid this shit is, man. How fucking ridiculous this shit is. We getting rid of all this DEI shit, taking motherfuckers out of the archives and all this bullshit because of DEI shit. Because in his mind, he thinks motherfuckers, black people, are supposed to be in the fields, right?
But tell them who actually is affected by getting rid of this DEI shit.
It's veterans, white women. Whatever. You have to go through a whole long ass process to get to us.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Now this motherfucker, he getting rid of all of this shit, right? Because he, in his mind, in his feeble ass, stupid ass mind, he thinks that white people, white men is going to persevere and rise to the damn top. But then this damn stupid ass dude go through his cabinet and hire DEI motherfuckers don't even know what the fuck they doing.
So let me just say this. What and it's going along with what you're saying. The simple fact is this. He is feeding people who he wants to exploit.
Absolutely. Because it's a tribal thing. It's innate in us. We go, hey man, you know what?
I'm not talking about the minorities. I'm talking about the people who support him. He's feeding them mentally, but physically, he's not giving them shit.
They losing jobs and shit and farms and all of that.
All of that.
But you be surprised at the number of these fuckers standing in the unemployment line saying that they would vote for that son of a bitch again.
Of course.
I'm like, man, you love slamming your nuts to the door, bro. I mean, I don't understand it. But I mean, it
the only good thing is the simple fact that he didn't take away what we never had.
Exactly. And here's the thing that's crazy, man. When you speak about it in this vein, hey man, we're gonna get rid of all the DEI highs and all this shit or whatever, right? And then they turn around not even a fucking month later and they giving away secrets and shit on the fucking
all right, that's another show.
Like bitches.
Yes. So this is the last point. So anybody in their right mind is say you're getting rid. getting rid of motherfuckers that you don't think that's qualified, but then motherfuckers that you handpicked fucking up on a level unheard of,
A
and then
James
when they come
Bond
to you,
level.
and then when they come to you and say, "Well, what do you think, man? What happened in your cabinet?" and you say, "Well, I don't know shit about it," you a fucking DEI hire, motherfucker.
No doubt. All right. Well, look, let's change up for this last piece of it. Great fucking conversation, young men, which is always, but great input, man. I mean that. Earlier, I said that when it comes to sports relate to life, right? So I don't read too much into sports entertainment, meaning that this
I
this
know where you're going, bro.
LBJ and Stephen A. Smith.
I knew you was going.
No, because I have a point with it. I don't care because I understand that Stephen A. is getting paid over a certain amount of years, $100 million, right? He's getting paid that certain amount of money for a reason because he's always been the mouthpiece. He's always been the attack dog on players, black players. Everybody will sit there and say, "Oh no, he's a journalist," and this that. No, he's never attacked any white players. And I'm not making this into a color thing. Please understand where I'm coming from. I'm saying that there is a sports guy that attacks white players, and there is a sports guy that attacks black players, right? So, with that being said, to me, this is my opinion, right or wrong. Stephen A started smelling himself because he would say things like with Kevin Durant and other folks, right? Other than LBJ, where he would get away with because people didn't like them as much as LeBron James. So he would get away with it. So he would say things that's suspect. In my opinion, when he questioned LeBron's, not to rehash it because we went over the last 3 episodes, we went over the same thing. But when he questioned LeBron's fatherhood, I don't know LeBron from a can of paint. When he questions LeBron's fatherhood, right, he opened the door for this man to respond to him. Because it had nothing to do with basketball. Even though he put it in the mask of his son, right? Had nothing to do with basketball. He questioned this man's fatherhood. That will fuck with anybody. White, black, and green, it will fuck with anybody. Like, how dare you say something about me, the way I raise my children, right? My point is this. Stephen A., that's his job. That's what he does, right? But how are you taking it personal because this man lashes back at you, whether he's being petty or not? Because I saw LeBron on Pat McAfee, and I'm going to tell you, it was refreshing to hear him be relaxed and candid, but then it was kind of immature, some of the shit he was saying. Not about Stephen A., but this is about everything. Because he tried to do a Cat Williams on Shannon Sharp. So he tried to throw everybody under the bus, right? So I laid that out so my question to come up. When it comes to being a reporter, whether you're black or white, what makes more sense to you guys? Talking about Damon, Jaquari, and the chat. What makes more sense about it? Do you want the old school way where the reporters just reported on the sport? Or do you want the new school where they reported on the individual, whether or not this dude drink too much, whether or not him and his wife have conjugal situations 3 times a week? Where do you see yourself when it comes to how you want your sports to be? And this is your own personal opinion now. We ain't trying to win no arguments. I just want to know your opinion about this. How do you want to receive your sports? Did Stephen A talk radio shock jock bullshit? That's my personal opinion. It's bullshit to me. Because he feels he can say whatever the hell he wants to say, and he don't have to back it up. That's the way I take it from him. Whether he's telling some truth in this shit, really and truly is all sensationalized, right? Or do you want it where, okay, this is a cursory thing. LeBron is letting his team down because he didn't hit the basket like he was supposed to. Jordan is not as great as he was that people think he is because the 8 years prior to him winning championships, he failed and he was selfish. LeBron didn't show up his first championship. You know what I'm saying? And his second championship try. You feel me? What is your opinion about it, if you have one? We'll start with you, Ja'Cory.
My opinion, man, is I miss the old days of ESPN, man, where it might have been two dudes with a ticker, and they just talked about sports, and you leave it on ESPN all day, and
I respect that.
as a sporting event occurred, they talked about it and moved on.
Okay.
I don't like my I don't find entertainment in hearing the salacious events that occur in celebrities' lives. I don't, because I got my own shit to go. I'm going through. I'm not really. I don't care. I find it offensive, and it's not off. It's not off subject or anything like that. But I find it offensive that I know what Jay-Z's children look like.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? I don't want to know all that. I don't want to know all that, so I don't really pursue those things. That's like when you brought it up before we got on officially tonight. I mean, I didn't know what you were talking about. As far as I was concerned, I had a lot more respect for how LeBron handled the situation at the game before I found out that he went on somebody's show. Because my opinion, I think my opinion still stands, man. Had he just addressed him the way he addressed him at the game, and let it lie there, and didn't even speak about it anymore. He done his job as a parent.
That's real.
But now he's decided to make the situation a lot larger than Bronny. And it could potentially backfire. He's put himself in a position. And Stephen A. Smith, I mean, there was a point in time where Stephen A. Smith was at the top of his game in a good way.
Oh, he still is.
Yeah, but I'm just saying though. I mean, we didn't know that Stephen A. Smith was an asshole. We didn't know that.
No. His asshole came out of his podcast. But go ahead, dog.
Yeah, we didn't know he was an asshole, and we enjoyed his commentation. But with that, I guess with that public support, and the money, it came to a certain level of arrogance, and he is only doing his job. He is doing what has made him successful. And you think about everybody who would decry the situation, if somehow or another he found himself getting fucked over. People would stand for him. Would people stand for him? That's my question. Would people stand for him? With this, with this attitude and this person that he's seemed to have become.
You know what, Ja'Cory? He can't justify it. See, that's the thing.
He can't just.
People will ride with it, but when LeBron responds back, he cannot counter it because he knows it's bullshit.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not his job to justify it, man.
I understand that. I mean, but I was just answering your statement.
Yeah, but just in regards to the fickle public, they like for him to be able to rebut, but it's not necessary.
Yeah,
And he's
Steve,
he's tapped that vein.
no doubt.
Stephen
Dang.
A. is playing. Stephen A. is playing to the crowd, man. That goes against LeBron, and he can feed off of it. You know what I'm saying, and you know, and bring motherfuckers to, you know, the argument. He can bring the argument. You know what I'm saying, that's what he does. He wants to bring the argument.
Hey man, hey Damon, we only see your chin, man. Let's see your whole big ass forehead, bro. Come on. There you go.
How
There
the
you
hell
go.
I'm supposed?
That's my brother.
How the hell am I supposed to respond to that shit, bro?
You do got a big forehead, man, but come on, man, adjust your camera.
That's because I got
There
a
you
big
go.
ass brain. But here's the here's the thing. I understand what Stephen A.'s job is because that's what it is now. He's not Stuart Scott, the Stuart Scott, man.
Mm.
You feel what I'm saying? He's not that. Nobody is. That man, when you talk about the GOAT of sports, entertainment, whatever, Stuart Scott was that guy.
Yeah.
Hell, Brian Gumble.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There was that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And Stuart Scott and Brian Gumble and everybody else in that vein didn't feel like they had to be sensationalized to be important. Now, Stephen A. got the bag. But this is where he messed up at, man, to me. Absolutely, man. LeBron was justified in his position, what he said. You know what I'm saying? But we know that this guy, Stephen A., ain't that guy. I like him. I'm entertained by him. But he ain't that guy. He said, if LeBron would have swung on, LeBron would have swung on me, I would have swung back. No, you wouldn't.
That wasn't nothing but comedy, man. But go
What
ahead.
was he supposed to say? I mean, that, you know, he a man.
But that's my point, though.
He a man. Let me ask
should've-
you this. Let me ask you this.
He waited, but Ja'Cory, he waited 2 comments ago to say that. Shut the fuck, man. Go ahead. You should
I
have
get
said
it.
that
I
in
get
the
it.
beginning.
I
But see,
understand.
that's
Let me ask y'all this. Let me ask y'all this real quick. I'm sorry to cut you off, Damon. Let me ask y'all this. If Stephen A. Smith was to die, was to retire today, who in today's comment in the field of commentators today, who would his verses be against?
you know what? Honestly, he's the last of the dinosaurs.
There you go. You know,
He's the last.
he's a
Stephen
accomplished.
A. is the last. You want to look at it.
But the
Go ahead,
question, based on what I understand, what the question is, when I think about that whole situation, Stephen A. benefits from that shit, not LeBron. In right motherfucker's mind, LeBron was justified in what he said. He was justified. Stephen A. started.
Mine too, but go ahead.
He started to try to be right in the situation, dude. At some point in time, you have to come to a without losing viewers and people and respectability. You have to come to the conclusion that, you know what, I might have stepped over.
He did. With that one line, he did.
Saying that Stephen A., the onus is on him.
Yeah.
Hey, I might have stepped over, man. And you know what? I didn't mean that in that regard. No, he started making excuses. I was talking about him and what he and his son. Man, you can't speak on what a man put his son in the position to do.
And when you heard him say that, you was that BS? Because it was BS for me. Did you think that was BS when Steve?
There's not a man, there's not a father in this world is gonna have to make an excuse for that. The man did what he did, and he did it in the third quarter, bro. So that means that it meant something to him. Now, LeBron been in the league, what, 21 years?
Yes, sir.
He's never done that. And here's the thing that most people don't even think about or consider. When Stephen A. made those stupid ass points or whatever, right? That's just my opinion. He made those points, whatever, right? You don't think LeBron's wife was like, oh hell no. a husband.
That's real.
You haven't spoken on anything thus far, but you finna speak on this.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So that let me know in LeBron's actions that in the third quarter he stepped to this man. His wife was in his ear, like, no, we cannot allow him to do this because he wants to have clickbaits and all that bullshit.
Hey, Damon, before you go on, do you feel that it was reaching when it came to Stephen A's part when he was on that as a father? I need you to. And did he get drunk off his power by even including that?
That's exactly what he did. He broached that subject and he knew goddamn well he had no business doing that. And he wasn't saying, well, hey, this is my job. No, it's not. That's not your job, dude. Here's the thing that messes me up with all these people making all these opinions and shit like that. You can look at a guy playing basketball on the court. I played basketball in college my whole life. I played basketball. What I do on the court does not dictate what type of man I am. You have no idea what type of man I am. No idea. But you want to associate, well, hey man, I don't think he has the heart. I don't think he has the courage. He's not a killer. Man, bro, both of y'all, explain to me when being on the basketball court means that you're a killer. We've never made that comparison. He's a killer on the basketball court. No, basketball is basketball. It has nothing to do with killing and life and demeaning a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? It's a game.
Yeah.
LeBron doesn't have heart. He doesn't have the heart. He's not a killer. And here's the thing, man. When it comes to that statement, he's not a killer. Dude, who is a better general, man? The cat that can incorporate everybody, or the cat that do everything himself, when then you can come up with a game plan against the motherfucker.
No doubt. Good point.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, he's a killer because he took the last shot. Of course he took the last shot because he took the first.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Hey, go ahead and finish up real quick, Damon. I'm gonna get these last two statements, then we're gonna
You not gonna tell me because a motherfucker took the last shot that he is that guy. No. What makes me think further than just playing and just balling is I have to adjust to the guy who's incorporating everybody. When my mind is not focused on one person, but my mind is focused on this guy who just got in the damn game. And that's what LeBron does. He put that guy who just got in the game, that nobody has any scouting shit on, to be put in the position to win a situation.
Yeah.
Then they talk about Detroit. Detroit mugged the shit out of Jordan. Of course they did. That was easy.
No doubt.
I'm going to foul him. I'm going to knock him on the floor or whatever because I know he's finna take the last shot to try to win the game. Whereas when it comes to LeBron, he going to put, what's the little dude name? The white guy who was running around chasing old boy?
The Australian dude. I know you're talking about.
Yeah. We're going to put him in the position where he might chase old boy all day, but he going to sit off in that corner, and I'm going to drive the lane, and I'm going to dish it off to him, and he going to knock that shit down.
Yeah.
What's harder to defend against, bro?
Yeah. All right. Look. I'm not cutting you off, but I want to get these two things in, man, because they are great points at the end. Michael Satterfield says, LeBron could have approached the situation better than at the game in front of the fans. That's my opinion. Stephen A had a job to report if his son is not playing to an NBA level and what it is. I want to comment on this, then Jaquari, you go, and then you go. Satterfield, I get it. I get it. But guess what it was? Before, now he's basing it off of Philadelphia, a long ass road trip, a 5-game road trip where they had a couple people injured. Now this was reported. This is nothing secret. This was reported. They flew the young boy in to Philadelphia because they had like a couple people who was not playing because of injury. So everybody was tired and said, you know what? We're going to put you in. Now, J.J. Redick, the coach for the Lakers, put him in too soon. And he put him in against Tyrese Maxey, who's a fucking all-pro. Nobody can stand in front of. And he only put him in there for, I think he ended up playing 12 minutes, but he put him in front of Maxey for 4 minutes, and Maxey destroyed him for 4 minutes. Right? So you put a rookie in front of all pro that nobody can stay in front of, right? And then you're gonna go that next Monday and bet, hey, you're his father. Now this kid is trying to become a professional basketball. I don't give a flying fig how you feel LeBron James Jr. got there. He's there, right? Why are you going to beg his father to do something that his father don't have any control over? Because the Lakers drafted him. Whether they did it for LeBron James, it doesn't make a damn bit of difference. That's their player. And they put him in front of this guy, and he embarrassed him. Because he's supposed to. But you base it off one game. And then you're going to put up there, oh, he's averaging such. He don't play. He didn't play. Like, he averaged like 2-3 minutes for the Lakers, but he played at the fucking next level. The young boys. You feel what I'm saying? See, Stephen A, you sensationalize some bullshit. And I'm not saying you're wrong, Michael. I'm not saying that, homie. I'm not saying that. I'm saying to you, here's what was going on. Now, I had to speak on this because I saw this, right? Jaquari and Damon already gave their opinion about it. Right? And this is not disputing you. This is what I see. Now, Marcus says to think about the double standard. When Mama Daniels sat in between Juju and Jaden, which was crazy. Because basically what it was Juju was playing in the tournament. And I either think she either played prior, Juju, right? Either played prior or played before, and she was sitting beside Jaden Daniels, the Washington Commanders all-star quarterback, right? All-pro quarterback, who was the shit. And next thing you know, when they flash back, his mother was sitting between Juju and Jaden. So it says, sat between Juju and Jaden, people said she was protecting her baby. Her baby's 23 years old. So they ain't no baby. You know what I'm saying? Juju is only 19. And a professional. Look, it's going to be a professional basketball player, all world, before she got injured. And I hope she got a great recovery.
She did that thing last year too.
Yeah, it's not like Juju is this, this straight up groupie. No, But see, this is the narrative that they protected, right? And then Marcus says when Braun stepped in between Stephen A, stepped to Stephen A, he was considered a villain. The only reason why he was considered a villain because it was painted that way. If everyone really and truly looked at it, he attacked LeBron's fatherhood.
Right.
Is what he
Here's what's
did.
crazy. Here's what's crazy to me, man. Let me give my own personal experience, man.
All right, I want you to finish. Ja'Quari, you done, and we out of here. But go ahead,
And
Ja'Quari.
in this situation, you know, eventually I became a Hall of Famer, right? But my freshman year, man, coach put me in 1-3-1 defense, right? I was on the back end of the 1-3-1 defense. I had to run from sideline to side, from one end of the court to the other, defending, right? Running. Now, during the game, the coach came to me and said, this guy is all world, he's all this and all that. We want to try to shut him down. But they had me in the 1-3-1 defense. Right? Now I'm tired as hell, man. From one side of the court to the other side of the court, trying to defend and all this stuff. My man getting off. The assistant coach came in and say, hey man, hey Damon, I want you to play this guy one-on-one defense, man. You know what I'm saying? So we started playing man to man. Now he killing me in the 1-3-1. But when I went man to man, I started to showcase my shit. You know what I'm saying? My point is, you put in a position on the court where the coach implement the defense and say, this is what your job is. If they see you failing in the regard, they say, okay, we're going to change it up. We're going to go man to man. Then shit changed. Then I was put in a position where I can showcase my defense and my offense and do my thing. And my point is, you could be that cat on the sideline critiquing the situation and say, hey man, he getting killed. He getting killed. He can't handle this guy. So forth. But if you have a coach in the position to have the wherewithal to make an adjustment, then you see the difference. And that's what most cats don't get. What they don't get is, man, he killing you. He killing you. But you're not paying attention to, but am I in the position to be successful? You know what I'm saying? And that requires an adjustment. So it's not predicated on what you see. Because you're not in that, you're not up there with that grease board making adjustments on how to play defense. Or you're not there. And you're just a novice motherfucker, and you've never been in that position. You know what I'm saying? I can make the argument. I was in that position that I wasn't in a position to win until the adjustment was made. When you see the adjustment made, then you make your opinion on it. That's why I respect Stuart Scott. Because he look at the totality of it. The totality of it is you understanding game plan. If you've never been in that position where you have to implement it and do the job, and your only thing you do is sit back and have an opinion, if you don't know X's and O's, don't speak on it, bro. You understand what I'm saying? And that's how I look at the game. Understanding X's and O's. If you don't know the shit, don't speak on it. Because the only thing you're going to say was, hey, well, man, he had 28 and you had 22. Did you see me running from baseline and baseline, motherfucker? From one side of the court to the other? Helping on defense and they're not picking up my man? You know what I'm saying? Do you understand the nuances of the game? If you don't, if you just a novice or you just speaking on what it is that you think you know, if you ain't got your ass on the court and did that position, don't speak on it. That's my position on it.
No doubt. Okay.
Don't speak on it. Because me from running from sideline, from one side of the court to the other side of the court, I couldn't do anything because I was in the wrong defense. But if I have a coach who understands my position, my skill set, and all that stuff, and put me in the position to be successful, then judge me on that. Don't talk about where I failed at out of position. Talk to me where I was in position. If I failed when I was in position, then you can say whatever the hell you want to.
All right, good point, Damon. Jaquari, how you feel?
I answered that. I answered already.
All right, refresh our memory.
Yeah, I answered it, bro.
Damn, Keith, you got me paying that. I got half of my face showing. My bad, dog.
I mean,
I went through that whole process and only half of my face showing, man. Oh my God.
no,
my bad.
Earlier, yeah. Well, look, my last thing, and Jaquari, you, hey, dickhead.
I don't have anything else to say.
It is what it is, man. You could have gave me a curse. You could have gave me a curse.
What you call him?
Oh my God,
dickhead. Because that was a dickhead. Hey, it's on you, guy. No, I'm just fucking with you. But look,
no, you're not.
Oh, I am. But really and truly, if this the case that Jaden's mom was in between her to prevent something, she dropped the ball. Because first and foremost, Juju is a college player, and Juju is all world, right? Would have been perfect for her son. But it is what it is. I don't care. But look, housekeeping. This is a Strong Perspective podcast. We did a strong 2 hours. And I know we got another 2 hours to go, but we're going to cut this off because it's a Friday night. And please do us a favor. Go like, share, and subscribe on our YouTube channel. Across the bottom of the screen, it's screening on, it's scrolling all our different contacts. We are on YouTube, which is the primary, Twitter, and we're also on different things. And also you'll see at the end of it, the Cash App. Show us some love on Cash App if you feel that we did a good job. And really and truly why I do that, just for the simple fact that I want to compensate the talent, Jaquari and Damon, and also any guest that comes on. If you feel that you enjoyed yourself, hit us on the Cash App. But look, this is Strong Perspective Podcast. We show up. Go to our YouTube channel, like, share, and subscribe. We're here every Friday at 7:30. Tune in, and it's all about our conversation. You enjoy your weekend, enjoy your week. Any last words, gentlemen?
Yeah, if we get 200 people on there, I'll start singing for y'all.
And you can sing.
Ooh, you know, I heard somebody say just the other day.
Hit him with some Lenny Williams, baby.
I'd be more serious, man. But man, y'all need to come on with it, man. Stop bullshit.
Any last words, brother?
Hey, man. Finding, understanding, caring, and keeping. Those are my watchwords. Finding, understanding, caring, and keeping. If you want to shorten it, just say fuck
you. All right.
I'm glad you got it.
This is Strong Perspective Podcast. We'll see y'all next Friday. Peace.
Peace.